Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. I hope all is going well. Every once in a while, I like to think of some questions that I want to answer, and I have one that I got last week that I think is actually a pretty good one. It's from a black belt friend of mine, and he asked me not to give his name on this video, which I guess he doesn't want to be famous. How about this for a subject? Should a black belt practitioner of Jiu-Jitsu keep being promoted if they do not contribute to the art? For example, they don't teach, they don't ref at tournaments, they don't know self-defense, etc., etc. Choose whatever you want. Is it fair that someone who doesn't help the art grow be promoted to the same rank and status as those of us who do? And how can we have black belts, coral belts, and red belts that never did any of these things? So I guess there was one story that came up a little while ago about somebody who was promoted to red belt in fewer than the typical 40 years as a black belt, and who doesn't teach or train or anything, but from what I understand, they provided some other kind of support. Maybe it was monetary, I'm not sure. And they were, that particular individual was promoted to red belt by the powers that be in Jiu-Jitsu, and these people that gave him the red belt are no joke. So that's one case. Here's how I learned what the degrees on the belt were. You know, keep in mind my history, my learning about that originally came from Grandmaster Howson, because that's where I started and that's where I was for the first few years, and I was also the Gracie Academy for a little while. So that was always me. You know, the first thing that you learn is the thing that you tend to keep the longest, and that's the first thing I learned. And what I learned was, you get your black belt. Your red bar comes from you being an assistant professor for a year. Another year later, you get your 2 white bars on your black belt. Those are your professor bars. You have to be teaching to earn either one of those. If you're not teaching, you don't earn any of them. And every degree after that comes for every 2 years. Now they've changed it, but for every 2 years that you've been a teaching black belt, and that was emphasized, a teaching black belt. So you need to be giving back to the art in order to progress through the black belt ranks. In other words, if you just train and get your black belt, and you train every week, you're just training. You're not working for a school as an instructor. You don't run a school as an instructor. You're not traveling. Let's say you don't have a school, but you're traveling all the time, and you're just teaching seminars and visiting schools and teaching over there. Then you're contributing to the art. You're helping the art to grow. Then you get your degrees. Lately, though, I know you could just be an active competitor and you can get degrees. As long as you're a member of that federation for a period of time and you meet the time requirements, it doesn't matter if you don't teach. You just get it through time. And me personally, I'm not a fan of that. If I stop teaching, if I find something else to do with my time other than teach, then the clock on which my degrees on my belt continue to go should stop. Because that's what I was brought up to believe, so therefore that's what I believe. Now times may change and people may feel differently, but really, if that was the original intent of the degrees on the black belt, then why change it? Some things don't need to be changed. Of course, some things do need to be changed. This is not one of them, in my opinion. So that's my answer to that question. Relatively short video. But if you have any questions or comments on it, I'd love to hear them. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for continuing to contribute to our channel and continuing to share our videos, because we're getting more subscribers now and we're starting to get the word out. So you could even say that this is Kama Jiu-Jitsu's contribution to Jiu-Jitsu as well, helping people to be more educated on what Jiu-Jitsu is about. And also, if you want to help us to build the channel, there's some books that we put links on in the description that are great. That I have myself. If you click on them and if you end up getting them, it helps the channel out a little bit. If that's something that works for you, go ahead and click in the description below and help the channel out. That's all I got for you. Take care. Happy training. Bye-bye.